Coming up next, a potentially deadly virus spread by mosquitoes has reached 3 Pennsylvania counties. Find out what you need to know.
Plus, the opioid crisis in Pennsylvania.
Nathan is our son. He's a brother and an uncle to 2 little girls.
A victim's mom speaks out as officials have good news about the drug problem.
And where you can go this weekend to see some of the creepiest creatures around. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Carlos Flores.
And I'm Megan Drakis. Thanks for joining us. A rare but possibly fatal disease is now confirmed in 3 Pennsylvania counties. Erie, Carbon, and Monroe counties are those affected by the virus spread by mosquitoes. Reporter Jenna Minig has more on the threat and what steps should be taken to protect yourself.
A potentially deadly virus has made its way to Pennsylvania, and it's transmitted by mosquitoes. According to state health officials, Eastern equine encephalitis virus, also known as Triple E, has been reported in 3 PA counties: Carbon, Monroe, and Erie. Triple E is a brain infection spread by mosquitoes, and about 30% of people infected die.
Mosquitoes can't pick up the virus from us or from horses. There's not enough of the virus in our bodies to actually transmit it to a mosquito, but we can be affected by the pathogen.
So far this year, at least 18 cases have already been reported, and several have been fatal. Dr. Jason Rascon is a professor of disease epidemiology at Penn State.
From just sort of a hot year where the year's not even over yet, it's really not, we can't really say why it seems to be increased this year compared to previous years.
In a statement from the State Department of Agriculture, the agency said, quote, "Symptoms of Triple E are high fever, stiff neck, headache, and lack of energy." While there is no treatment for Triple E, steps that can be taken to prevent the virus are wearing long pants and long sleeves, using bug spray, and staying indoors from dusk to dawn. The virus can affect anyone, but people under the age of 15 and over 50 are at the highest risk.
For now, we want to make sure we're safe here in Pennsylvania and taking care to protect ourselves, but it's not going to be, it shouldn't be something that continues on that upward trajectory.
In State College, I'm Jenna Minig for the Center County Report.
For more information on the Triple E virus and how to protect yourself, you can visit the CDC website.
A Phillipsburg Osceola football player is at home recovering after suffering an internal injury during a game last Friday. David Weaver was airlifted to Geisinger Medical Center in Danville after the hit and is now back home resting with his family.
Pennsylvania has struggled with the opioid crisis during the past decade, but this year, Center County has seen a big drop in overdose deaths. Katie Park has more on the story.
Nate Smeltzer's mom still struggles with his death and the fact he's one of the grim statistics in Pennsylvania's opioid crisis.
He's a brother and an uncle to 2 little girls that adored him.
Cindy Smeltzer of York lost him almost 2 years ago.
Nate overdosed on November 15th, 2017, at the age of 31 from heroin laced with fentanyl. He was 18 months clean, and my life has never been the same since that day.
Families across the state share similar stories. The drug crisis hit Pennsylvania hard in recent years, but now there's new hope, including here in our area.
On a positive note, Center County has seen a serious turnaround in the decrease of overdose deaths.
So far this year, there have been 2 drug overdose deaths in the county through August, compared to 22 in 2018. Center County is on track to have its fewest overdose deaths in at least the past 7 years.
Our numbers are down in regards to overdose deaths and overdoses.
Part of Center County's response to the crisis is the Heroin and Opioid Prevention and Education Initiative. The group meets monthly to examine drug overdoses and discuss how to educate the community. Drug take-back boxes are also a part of the county's multi-pronged plan, and these boxes contain the opioid reversal drug naloxone, known as Narcan.
The availability of Narcan to not only first responders but to the general public has definitely contributed to lowering the overdose deaths overall.
Police hope the decline in overdose deaths continues and that it's a sign of better times ahead. In State College, I'm Katie Park for the Center County Report.
If you or someone you know is struggling with drugs, you can find help and the resources on Centre County website, centercountypa.gov.
That overdose reversal medicine Katie talked about in her story was distributed in health centers across Pennsylvania this week at no cost. Reporter Fiona Dager has more on the state's health initiative.
Seeing someone wake up from essentially being dead and knowing that they get to have another chance at life is something that you never really get used to.
An overdose doesn't have to mean that a human life is over. Naloxone, more commonly known as Narcan, is a medicine that reverses the effects of opioids, the nation's most deadly drug epidemic. And this week, Pennsylvania residents had access to this life-saving medicine for free.
Any Pennsylvania resident can get this at any of their community pharmacies, whether it's a local mom and pop shop that you grew up in with a small town or your local Rite Aid, CVS, or Walgreens.
Hundreds of these naloxone nasal spray kits were distributed in over 70 state health centers Wednesday at no cost. This little box packs a lot of power, enough power to save a life. Last year, naloxone saved the lives of over 9,000 Pennsylvanians when used by first responders.
There have been a few times that I've used Narcan on patients and seen them go from essentially not breathing well on their own to awake and talking.
The Free Naloxone initiative was made possible by funding set aside in the state budget. Videos found on pa.gov give step-by-step tutorials on how to use it. According to the Department of Health, between 2017 and 2018, Pennsylvania saw an 18% decrease in overdose deaths thanks to the state's distribution of naloxone to the public. For the Centre County Report, I'm Fiona Dager.
Naloxone is also carried at most pharmacies across the state year-round. It's available to people with public and private insurance, either for free or at a low cost.
The oldest operating courthouse in Pennsylvania is getting some updates to its 200-year-old structure. Under Phase 2 of the renovations at the Centre County Courthouse, workers are now updating the security area HVAC system and adding an ADA-approved ramp to the 4th floor. A large focus of the project deals with updating the sprinkler system, which will tap into the water line on Allegheny Street. The current budget for this project is just over $3 million, but has room to increase if unexpected issues come up. In other news at the courthouse, the verdict is in at the trial of a Bellefonte man accused of launching 2 explosive devices into the buildings in Bellefonte. This week, the jury found Dennis Hassinger guilty on all charges, including 2 felony counts of arson. He's accused of throwing flammable devices onto the roofs of the courthouse and the sheriff's office. Luckily, the damage was minimal.
People have been really concerned about this case, particularly law enforcement, because they appear to have been the ones who were targeted.
Explosives burned through each of the building's roofs and caused some damage.
China sends more students to the U.S. than any other country in the world. But this fall, universities nationwide have seen major changes in enrollment. Reporter Erin Neary looks into why Penn State may be an exception.
Universities across the country are seeing a drastic decline in Chinese student enrollment, but not in Happy Valley. Although Chinese admission rates nationwide have dipped over 1/5 this fall, Penn State has actually seen an increase.
Well, the unofficial numbers, we're actually about 100 more.
As of January 2019, Penn State has over 5,000 Chinese students enrolled at University Park. So why is Penn State thriving when other colleges are struggling to attract Chinese students?
I think overall in Asian countries, people do care a lot about academics. And people will look through the rankings, and that's what I did when I was in high school.
However, there are still concerns for Chinese students coming to America. The Association of International Educators cites the top contributors to the decline are visa complications imposed by the Trump administration and a volatile social and political environment in the U.S.
I know a lot of students, they wasn't able to come to Penn State for fall semester. They applied for spring semester just because of the visa process. Like the government won't give them the visa to come to the States.
Another issue is safety.
because of the gun issue here in America, a lot of the Chinese parents are very worried about their kids' safety, especially in a foreign country.
In University Park, I'm Erin Neary for the Center County Report.
University admissions says it'll continue to recruit in China and work with visa delays to get Chinese international students back on campus.
And will this warm weather continue all weekend? Stick around for the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Plus, 2 high school football teams get ready to play in Beaver Stadium for the first time. And a state college sports center is making improvements to hopes of giving more local athletes top-of-the-line training facilities.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just
keep pedaling. Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
The Nittany Valley Sports Center opened in Patton Township last winter. In just 9 months, it's been a huge success and already has plans for a major expansion. Brian McLaughlin has the details.
While less than a year old, the Nittany Valley Sports Center has already made a major impact on youth sports in Center County. The center currently provides opportunities for local soccer, lacrosse, baseball, field hockey, and gymnastics, as well as a speed training lab. Owner and general manager Michael Lee was inspired to create the center when at a gymnastics meet for his daughter in Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
And there was a lot of activity. People were having a great time. And I said, well, State College could use a place like this. And it really just, there was that little germ or seed, I guess, of an idea.
For State College residents, the center has provided a new home for many State College sports. With indoor facilities unlike anything else in the area, young athletes have jumped at the chance to use the center. It has been so successful that Lee has received multiple grants that are helping him take another major step forward by adding courts for volleyball and basketball. Phase 2 for the center is already underway, with an addition to this building expected to be completed by next September 1st. Lee hopes that the addition of court sports will really add to the sports tourism that he's already drawing to Center County.
I would hope we're the reason to bring them here in the first place, and they would always look at this place and say, boy, I've never been to a place that's run a better tournament or run a better event.
Once the additions are complete, the center will truly be one of a kind in central Pennsylvania. In Center County, I'm Brian McLaughlin for the Center County Report.
Lee says he hopes to draw the attention of Penn State students with extra options to on-campus activities this coming winter.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Matt Yarasavic. Looking live right now over Beaver Stadium. No football game tonight, but we do have beautiful conditions today. Temperatures heading up into the 70s and will stay above average as we head through the next week. Temperatures across the valley right now, 66 in State College, 67 over in Johnstown, 72 up on the lake in Erie, 71 in Pittsburgh, and our friends over in Philadelphia already at 75 degrees. Now we are dealing with that beautiful sky across most of the state, all the state, a few high clouds up toward Erie and over the lake. But the only thing on our radar right now is back here over the Great Lakes. We have a cold front that's dipping down there through the Mississippi River Valley, and that will be moving our way and will bring us the chance for a shower or maybe even a rumble of thunder as we head through Saturday. So 9 o'clock in the morning, we can already see there's a few of those showers, maybe a rumble of thunder there coming through central Pennsylvania. That will move its way through. And again, we're left with some spotty showers as we head into the overnight hours on Saturday. And as we head into Sunday, those clouds really clear out, and we're looking at another beautiful day to end your weekend. So that's a beautiful day to end your weekend. But first, we got to get through Friday, 73 degrees, sunny outside today, and our Penn State Nittany Lions playing the Terrapins down in College Park tonight. 8 o'clock kickoff, 71 at kickoff, but those temperatures fall into the 60s by the fourth quarter. Here in Happy Valley tonight, 57 degrees will be your low temperature, so it will be a little bit chilly, but mostly clear. And then for tomorrow, into the 80s, 84 degrees, your high temperature. Mostly sunny in the morning, but then we do have a chance for those storms to come through in the afternoon and evening hours. A look at our 7-day forecast. Not looking too bad from Sunday through the next couple of days after that. Monday, really our chance for showers, but a warm front will be lifting north, and Tuesday and Wednesday looking very, very warm with the fall-like temperatures coming back in after a cold front moves through next Thursday into Friday.
Nothing like some good weather for Penn State football, even away.
Yeah, even away, nothing like some good weather for football.
Speaking of football, here's Dylan Huberman with sports.
The Penn State football team is in Maryland to take on the Terrapins tonight in a rare Friday night game. We'll check in live with our reporter who's calling the game on the radio tonight. Also coming up, Penn State women's volleyball team took down Michigan State this week. And more on their win and their next game, next in sports.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm Peter. And there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
I'm Dylan Huberman with sports. Penn State football is on the road for the first time in 2019 as they take on the Michigan Terrapins tonight. Zach Kaplan takes a closer look at how playing a night game can affect the team's preparation.
The Nittany Lions will play their Big Ten opener on a Friday night for the second consecutive year.
While they prepare for their first road game of the 2019 season, head coach James Franklin and cornerback Tariq Castro-Fields talked about the differences that playing a day early can bring.
It sounds silly, but one of the challenges is when you play a Friday game, there's nothing to do during the day. Like when you play a Saturday night game, there's games on. They can watch games all afternoon because what you don't want them to do is just lay around and sleep all day.
I think the coaches and the people who put together the schedule do a great job of giving us rest, but also having us in meeting. I think they kind of take care of it, and we just show up where we need to be.
Penn State will also look to establish some consistency in conference play. While Castro-Fields has helped hold it down on the defensive side of the ball, the offense has been plagued by inconsistency, mainly with their ground game. Ahead of Friday's game against Maryland, head coach James Franklin spoke about continuing to play all 4 running backs until one emerges from the pack.
We're comfortable playing all 4 because we think all 4 can play. And the only way that would change is if somebody, just makes it clearly obvious to everybody that they're the guy. And right now we feel like we got 4 guys that we can play with and win with.
Maryland comes into Friday's game at 2-1 on the season after suffering their first loss of the year to Temple 2 weeks ago. Over the past 2 meetings, Penn State has outscored the Terps by a combined 104-6. In University Park, I'm Zach Kaplan for the Center County Report.
Kickoff is just after 8 o'clock tonight. You can listen live on Penn State Com Radio. Our reporter, Brian McLaughlin, is part of tonight's Com Radio broadcast team. He's on his way to Maryland right now and joins us live on the phone. Brian, your thoughts on the game. How difficult will this blackout environment be for Penn State?
Well, Dylan, it's going to be really difficult. It's a weird game on a Friday night. Over 14,000 Maryland students have bought tickets, and it's a really young Penn State team with their first road test of the season being in a pretty tough atmosphere. So it's going to be pretty tough, and I expect Penn State to be a little off guard, especially in the first half.
Where should we be looking for the Nittany Lions to improve offensively after a weak showing against Pitt?
Well, I think it has to be third down, Dylan. They are 127th out of 130 FBS teams in third down so far this season. That's not all on Sean Clifford, but I really think this team has to run the ball better, and that will help them overall on third down. That's going to be the difference offensively for Penn State.
Brian, Maryland's run game has been a bright spot for them so far. What can the Nittany Lions do to slow that down?
Well, I think that it's all about Penn State's defense. It's really going to be the middle linebackers. Micah Parsons, Jan Johnson, Cam Brown has to be the group that get it done, stopping the run game of Maryland this weekend. It's going to be a really tight game overall, but I think that's definitely the matchup to watch in those Penn State linebackers.
Thanks, Brian. Friday night means high school football in central Pennsylvania. The State College Little Lions are now ranked 18th in the state, according to Max Preps. They improved to 5-0 after a win over Chambersburg last week, and they'll go on the road to take on Central Dauphin East tonight. Other matchups include Bald Eagle at Tyrone, Bellefonte at home against Clearfield, and Penns Valley hosting Midwest. All 4 of these games are scheduled for 7 p.m. kickoffs. State College will play Cumberland Valley at Beaver Stadium on October 26th in the Beaver Stadium Classic, just announced this week. The 2 teams were already set to play that weekend, but they'll now have a serious venue upgrade, especially while State College's home turf, Memorial Field, is undergoing renovations. Kickoff will either be at noon or 5 p.m., depending on the time of Penn State's game against Michigan State. State High Athletic Director Chris Weekland is excited for the opportunity to play in the big stadium.
We're excited for this challenge and this opportunity for not only our student athletes and our coaches, but our whole school community for sure.
The Penn State women's volleyball team took care of the visiting Michigan State Spartans in straight sets this week. After mixed results against the Pittsburgh Panthers a week ago, the Lions rebounded nicely in their Big Ten opener. PSU had played 4 straight matches against top 10 teams before dealing with Michigan State at Rec Hall on Wednesday. Johnny Parker led from up front, sending down an impressive 16 kills to lead the rout. Penn State is set to square off with another Big Ten opponent, Rutgers, tomorrow. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Dylan. Coming up next, the annual insect fair is coming to a local agriculture arena this weekend. See what kind of creepy critters you're going to see up close tomorrow.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Looking for something fun to do this weekend? Head over to Penn State Snyder Agricultural Arena for the annual Great Insect Fair. Reporter Courtney Guyrie visited with some of the friendly critters you'll find there.
Meet Mr. Coconut Jr.
Oh my gosh.
And some of his long-legged neighbors. They live nearby some pesky residents, but as long as they don't escape, they're okay. Everyone in this live insect zoo is looking forward to a fun weekend being the main stars at Penn State's Great Insect Fair.
The whole idea is that people should walk away learning something about insects. We usually try to tie the booths into whatever the theme for the year is.
And that theme is Living Without Insects, inspired by the recent decline in insect species all over the world. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday at the Snyder Agricultural Arena, you can learn about and explore these important bugs as they are vital to the health of the planet and people.
People often think of pollination as the biggest thing, but they also do things like decomposing dead animals and a variety of other things.
Get your family and friends together this weekend and see for yourself what all the buzz is about. You'll be able to participate in a variety of games, crafts, and activities, including honey and insect tasting, face painting, observing butterflies, and even get hands-on with the most popular exhibit, the Live Insect Zoo, with this guy right here who's an Australian walking stick. This event will also feature exhibits on tick and vector-borne diseases, as well as insect-vectored plant pathogens. The goal is to educate people on the importance of these creatures while also having fun and trying new things. In University Park, I'm Courtney Guyrie for the Center County Report.
Admission and parking at the fair is free, but college donations of the Agricultural Sciences Etymology Department will be accepted.
So, Carlos, you think you could get up close and personal with Coconut Jr.?
Absolutely not. Courtney's way better than me.
That's all for today's newscast. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com.
And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Twitter feed, that's at Center County REP, or on our Facebook page. We also have a Center County Report Instagram. Join us for our next newscast on Tuesday. Have a good weekend.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, it just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
That's
I'm Dylan Huberman with sports. Penn State football is on the road for the first time in 2019 as they take on the Maryland Terrapins tonight. Zach Kaplan takes a closer look at how playing a day earlier can affect the team's preparation.
Thanks, Dylan. Coming up next, the annual insect fair is coming to a local agriculture arena this weekend. See what kind of creepy critters you can see up close tomorrow. Is it because I need to hold that more? Do I need to hold that more? Do I need to hold that more, Steven? That ending?
You got it great. They're
Do I need to hold that smile more at the end, or is that supposed to cut immediately?
Yeah, just hold that until they play the video.
Got it. All right. Gotcha. Thanks, Dylan. Coming up next, the annual insect fair is coming to a local agriculture arena this weekend. See what kind of creepy critters you can see up close tomorrow.